Welcome to Channel 18 News. I'm Jim Rogers. Eduardo Austin Delgado Torres, age 17, of Sulphur Springs, was arrested in a traffic stop Monday at 10:45 p.m. Torres was a passenger in the auto. A strong odor of marijuana came from the vehicle, and the officer noticed Torres was holding a small black bag against the floorboard with his foot. Torres was also carrying in his left pocket a cigarette box containing several pill capsules containing what was suspected to be methamphetamine, weighing 2.31 grams. The black bag contained a small wax paper with marijuana wax weighing approximately 1.7 grams. Also, several suspected narcotics, along with a jar of green leafy substance believed to be marijuana, was located. Torres claimed ownership of all the narcotics. He's in Hopkins County Jail, being held on a $46,000 bond. The Republican Party of Hopkins County will host a bipartisan candidate forum on October 18th at the League Street Church of Christ Fellowship Hall located at 1100 League Street in Sulphur Springs. There will be a candidates forum between Republican Wade Bartley and challenger Democrat Billy Emerson. Both are seeking Commissioner Place 3 on the Commissioner's Court. Each candidate will give an opening statement, and written questions will be submitted by those in attendance to be read to them by the moderator. Each candidate will be given time to respond to the question. After the question and answer, the candidates will be given time to give a closing statement. The doors open at 6 p.m. The candidate forum begins at 6:20 p.m. The public is invited to attend. County Judge Robert Newsom read the National 4-H Week proclamation on the steps of the Hopkins County Courthouse Monday afternoon.
So I want to read this proclamation that was passed by the Commissioner's Court last week. And it reads as follows: whereas the Hopkins County Commissioner's Court is proud to honor the 4-H Youth Development Program of the Texas A&M Agri-Life Extension Service for 108 years of providing experience-based education to youngsters throughout the Lone Star State. And whereas this admirable program, which seeks to provide a learning experience for the whole child, including head, heart, hands, and health, helps young Texans to acquire knowledge, develop life skills, and form attitudes to enable them to be self-directed, productive, and contributing members of our society. And whereas it's more than 602,000 urban, suburban, and rural youth participants ranging in age from 8 to 19 hail from diverse ethnic and socioeconomic backgrounds and truly represent a cross-section of the state. Whereas this program undoubtedly could not have achieved the success it is not, were it not for the service of more than 30,000 volunteers who have given generously their time, talents, energies, and resources to the youth of Texas. And whereas throughout its proud history, the 4-H program has developed a positive role model for countless Texans, and through its innovative and inspiring programs continues to build character and to instill the values that have made our state strong and our state great. Now therefore be it resolved that the Hopkins County Commissioner's Court designates October 2nd to 8th, 2016 as National 4-H Week in Texas, and we commend the 4-H Youth Development Program of the Texas A&M Agri-Life Extension Service and the many men and women who have made this program such a success. Thank you very much.
4-H parents, members, and leaders were honored following the reading of the proclamation.
And they stay there, and they say yeah, and they stay there, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. That's all I do is win, and if you're going down, put your hands in the air.
I've just got up several and y'all can grab one.
I don't know the rest.
Oh, dude, that's strawberry.
Oh, nice.
I think it's either strawberry or raspberry.
Just looks like a cake.
Have you ever heard of cows eating cottonseed? Okay, it's used for cow feed also.
Ag in the Classroom at Hopkins County Civic Center Arena attracted fourth grade students from across the area to learn the fundamentals of agriculture and contributions of agriculture to everyday life. Ag in the Classroom is an annual event at the Regional Civic Center.
We're trying to educate the young children of this community as well as other communities to understand about agriculture. Again, most children think milk comes from Brookshire's, but we're trying to teach them that milk doesn't come from Brookshire's; it comes from a cow. And we appreciate you guys for coming out and trying to help educate the community too. We're going to have over about 1,000 kids here in the next 2 days, and we have a lot of good people here trying to help educate them about agriculture.
How long have we been doing this now? About 50 years?
It sounds like it. Sure feels like it sometimes, but I think it's been about 10 or 12 years. I'll have to go back and look at that. I'm kind of curious myself.
So what age group are we looking at?
We're looking at 4th grade children.
Has it always been 4th graders?
Yes, sir. It has.
So last year's seniors would have been one of the first classes through.
That's correct. They would have been through here. Mm-hmm.
Would have anybody come up to you and go, I learned a lot?
Yes, we have. We actually had some that decided that they were going to go into farming after they went through Future Farmers of America. Yep. And they started right here by looking at agriculture and trying to understand it.
Sparked a little interest.
Sparked a little interest. We need a few more young ones to get into it, otherwise we're going to be starving to death pretty soon. Or at least the family farm is going to disappear, and that's what we're trying to help that family farm stays together.
Well, I'm Danita Young. I am the County Extension Agent from Rains County, and I'm here with some of my 4-H'ers and a 4-H'er from Hopkins County. And we are trying to promote 4-H with all these kids and try to get them involved in our programs.
This is National 4-H Week.
It is absolutely National 4-H Week. So it's a perfect time to spread the word about 4-H and try to get all these kids involved in our programs. And these young people could tell you a little bit more about what we do.
What's your name?
I'm Trent Jennings, and I'm from Rains 4-H, and I show dairy cows. And along with that, I do presentations where you can go to Commerce and then College Station to present them. And you can also do like photography and things like that. And that's pretty much what I do.
What's your name?
My name is Kate Goldsmith, and I do in 4-H, I do lots of stuff. I do things like livestock judging and showing beef heifers, and we're competing at the state fair next week, and I'm a part of the Hopkins County 4-H Club, and we do all sorts of stuff like leadership things and a little bit of everything, really.
My name is Ashley Jennings. I'm with the Rains County 4-H, and I show dairy cows throughout the whole year, and then I show a pig at the Rains County Fair, and I'm involved in educational presentation.
How long have you been in 4-H?
Since 3rd grade, so like 6-7 years, something like that.
Okay. Why did you join 4-H?
Well, I've grown up with cows all around me, and it was just really interesting, and 4-H is a way to get more involved with speaking and with animals.
You ever wonder why your toothpaste don't fall off your toothbrush? Huh?
Because it's sticky.
Because it's sticky. They actually use parts of the cow to do that.
Will it say it on the back?
Now, everybody ever use this stuff in school?
Yeah.
What is this stuff?
My name is David Zahn, and my son Cameron.
Okay, and what are you teaching these children today?
We're teaching them about beef cattle.
About what?
About beef cattle.
Okay.
And what good things come from beef.
Such as?
Such as, obviously, our steaks and ribs, but we also get a lot of different things from beef cattle. We might get shoes or leather. We also get certain types of medicines from beef cattle. And some things that kids kind of gross out on when I tell them that there's gum and it's part of a beef cow. So we learn lots of different things.
Obviously, you're a beef producer?
Yes, I am.
You got
got a ribeye cook-off coming up.
Yes, that's exactly right. For the net bio, thank you for mentioning that. Yes, we look forward to it. It's a part of our organization getting together, and as I've talked about with the kids, we educate, and our producers, members of the organization, we have an educational program, and then we have a function out on the square to where we have a ribeye steak cook-off, which everybody's invited to.
Do you participate in this personally?
I do not participate personally because I rather work with the kids than I would cooking steaks. I'd probably do a little bit better.
But I bet you'll eat a steak.
Yes, sir. Sounds great. I look forward to it.
Silver Springs High School Blue Blazes are planning their Blaze Buddy program. Here are the officers of this year's Blue Blazes.
Okay, my name's Emily and I'm the captain.
My name's Brianna and I'm senior lieutenant.
My name's Samantha and I'm co-captain.
My name's Peyton and I'm junior lieutenant.
My name's Natalie and I'm junior lieutenant too.
What's a Blaze Buddy?
Blaze Buddies are the little girls that get to spend time with us throughout the year. They're in the Christmas parade, they're in spring show, they get to perform at a game with us. And last year, since it rained out, they did a basketball game instead, which was still just as fun. But what they do is they get a shirt, they get to get their own individual blaze and just hang out with them throughout the year at our different events. And it's just a lot of fun.
How much does this cost?
$45.
How do you sign up?
Oh, you get a paper, then you take it to field house.
You get a what?
Paper. You take it to field house.
Where do you get the paper?
Before we hand them out. Yeah.
Is that what you did at the elementary schools?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Did you just talk to these little girls or did you perform for them?
We played games with them and we talked and we gave them the pamphlets to have all the information and we just kind of explained what it was to them.
Okay, and these are what, 6, 7-year-old girls?
It's from pre-K to 5th grade.
Okay, so they probably lost that little piece of paper.
Oh, probably. Definitely.
So how would mom sign them up without a little piece of paper?
We gave them to the teachers mostly, and the teachers would give it to the mom. Or the kids will explain to their moms, and maybe they can sign them up.
Okay, and when does this start? Is there a deadline?
I can't exactly remember what the deadline is, but get them to field house as soon as you can, and I'm sure we drop some extra ones off at field house if somebody loses one or something like that. But our first event is the football game, and it's the same weekend as Fall Festival.
Which game would that be?
Mount Pleasant game, the 21st? The 21st.
Okay. And then what do they do between that football game and spring show?
We will have a little Christmas party with them, and they'll get to do the Christmas parade with us, and they'll ride on a trailer and that kind of thing.
Anything you want to say?
Join us. Blaze Buddies rule. Oh my gosh.
Tell me about basketball.
Well, the big thing with basketball for us this year is that we're going to be performing at a Mavericks game on February 11th, and we're going to be selling tickets for that. So if anybody in the community wants to come out, just hit up a Blaze and we'll get you a ticket. The deadline to buy them is this Friday, so we need to get those numbers in and all of that. But we're going to be performing at the halftime of the Mavericks game on February 11th, and we're going to be doing one of our former pep rally routines, and we're so excited about this opportunity.
Here's Don Julian with sports.
Tuesday morning, I talked with Wildcats offensive coordinator Matt Young about the offensive performance during the Marshall game last Friday night. Coach Young also gives us a preview of the Texas High defense the Wildcats will face this Friday.
Just overall a little disappointing. We'd hoped for a little better night, a little better showing. You go back and watch the film, we did a lot of really good things, and it was just revealing that you can't overcome mistakes when you play good teams. Mm-hmm. We had 3 drives I can name right now where we had the chance to continue them, make first downs, a 4th and 1, had a missed assignment. We had 3rd and 3 where we have everything blocked perfectly and one guy gets beat. That it should be a block that we can handle. An open player on the drive. Just things where we're obviously improving, and that's the tough thing to keep letting these kids know. Just the position we're in. We're playing the best 2 teams, I think, in the district last week and this week, and just realize the strides we continue to make. And we were a lot better Friday night than we were against White House. And so those things, if we can build on that confidence and build on what we're seeing as coaches, then it'll be better. So just some disappointment there in coming up short of what I thought we'd be able to do, but at the same time making strides as a group.
Are you concerned at all with the mental outlook of the players or anything? They're still.
Yeah, they have a good attitude. I think they understand. It gets tough. It's tough on all of us. And that's probably the hardest part. Their attitudes are great. Their work ethic's tremendous, and that's why we're going to be just fine and win football games. And every week we get a challenge just to see what we can go out and do. We got a great opportunity this week, play a great team. Mm-hmm. If we'll go out and execute and do those things that we came up a little bit short last week, we'll end up in the end zone and points on the board and go win the football game. But that's the challenge is having that outlook and realizing, being able to see, and that's what we try to highlight. Is just really see those areas that we are improving and see those places that improvements can be made. We're not coming in here and saying, man, we can't block these guys. We can block them. Or coming in here and saying, well, we can't catch. Well, yeah, we can catch. And so it's that continuing, that look for that 1% of just improving daily.
All right. Texas High, you think about them, they've always quality on defense. How do they look to you this year?
They're the same. The difference this year, people are asking, there's not a standout. There's 11 really good high school football players. They're a little bit undersized for T-High. They're usually a little bit bigger in the interior, but they make up for that with quickness. And then just overall, a collective group that understands their jobs and theirs fits. And then when they make a decision to go make a play, they do it full speed. They're launching their bodies, they're sacrificing and flying around. And so you might do a great job and get them taken care of, and you'll look up and you'll get 6 yards. Mm-hmm. Just because the aggressiveness to the ball. So, but that plays to our strength of sustaining drives, get behind those big guys up front with Gideon and Darrow and English, and Ch.18 is starting to come on, and the host of backs, and then with time be able to spread the ball out to our receivers on the outside and make plays and go down and score.
With a lot of your speed guys over on the sidelines injured and everything, it's really, as Coach Owen said on Saturday, it's just critical that you have to really work on the little things and do them well. Yeah, we don't have just the line up and out run you guy right now, and so it's paying attention to those details. And the nice thing is we've got some guys that have been in our program and they're learning those things, understand those things, and we're more consistent at doing it now than we have been. And that's what we keep looking for as night after night that continue to improve and continue to have those results. And that's why we're able to move the football like we are. That's the separation from some of our games earlier in the year. Even as some of these guys played for us last year, you can see those improvements. And it's exciting to see because you end up having those drives, those 70-yard drives sustained. And I mean, last week we had 3 or 4 drives that were over 10 plays. Only one of those was a scoring drive. So a lot of those things are starting to add up and lead to success, and it's just a matter of maintaining that. Wildcats defensive coordinator Tristan Abram gives us his assessment of the defensive performance in the Marshall game last Friday. He also sizes up Texas High and the offense that the Wildcats will be facing this Friday on the road.
first I want to say that our front three I thought did a great job, and really it didn't matter who was in. Those guys played, just lights out. To be quite honest with you, just full speed the entire night. The bad part of that was I just didn't feel like we played well behind them, just to be quite honest with you. So with that being said, we have to do a good job of collaborating, putting everything together, and doing a better job defensively of stopping what opponents are trying to do. I felt like we had opportunities to make plays on the ball, and we did not make plays. They threw it up quite a few times, and I mean, we had guys there. We're in position, just not making plays. So in order to beat really good teams and really good people, you have to do that. And as crazy as it sounds, I'm pleased with the way that we handled Hollard. He's a phenomenal athlete. I mean, he's a really good football player. Obviously, a really good baseball player. But when it came to Friday night, yes, he did get loose, a few times. But for the most part, the things that they were trying to do coming out in their game plan, we stopped it. That he could not run the ball from a running back position. That he had to run the ball from a quarterback position, which now enabled them to have another blocker, which helped them out. But for the most part, I'm extremely excited about how we played and stopped him in what they were wanting to do. But again, we have to do a better job of just putting everything together and stopping people defensively. This is the second game all season that we did not create a turnover, did not get the ball back to the offense. So we have to do that. We have to get the ball back to our offense to give them opportunity to get in the end zone. So that's really what our focus is this week is putting everything together and playing a good defensive game with all 11 guys on the field, and not just having certain positions playing well at a given time, as well as creating turnovers.
Yeah, it was pretty frustrating. First down, great. Second down, great. Yes. 3rd and 10 or 3rd and long. And yes. They just pull it out of the hat like a rabbit.
You're exactly right. And I told the guys, on the field, I said, guys, it's like 3rd down is our kryptonite. It's like we're Superman up until then, and then somehow or another kryptonite falls into place, and we cannot. We're weak. We can't stop them. Mm-hmm. But again, to me, that's kind of a mindset deal. When you're struggling at a specific thing, then you have to have the right mindset to go overcome that, and that's what we're doing. We're focusing on 3rd downs, focusing on getting off the field with those 3 and outs. Like you said, 3rd and 10, there's no reason that we need to be on the field another down after that unless we're going to block a punt or return the punt. So we have to do a better job in that aspect, and call it what it is, do a better job on 3rd down.
Mm-hmm. Well, we thought we had a good Mission Impossible for you last week. This week, Coach Abram, you get a quarterback that's a D1 prospect going to North Texas, I believe, throwing to what Coach Owens called 2 of the best receivers in the district. Yes. With very serviceable, very good running backs and an offensive line that does like they always do and gets right on you.
Right.
So, I mean, it is a big, big chore this week, I know.
It is. It is. But, I accept the challenge. This is what makes it fun. This is why we go out and we do what we do, because, as a matter of fact, I just got done talking to my brother, and because his statement was, hey, so what's T-High have? And I said, well, they're good. They're a top 10 ranked team, went on and on and on. And his statement was, well, just remember the 92 10-0 Wildcats that refused to say that they went 10-1 because they lost the first playoff game. So anybody can be beaten. He's exactly right. It doesn't matter how what your ranking is. If the team that comes out to play shows up and they play flawless, then they're going to beat you. It doesn't matter who you are. And that's what we have to do, is we have to come and play flawless, because you're exactly right. They are an extremely talented offense. Their O-line is to me, in comparison to Marshall's, they're not as big, but they are just as well coached. They do a great job of pulling and getting the bodies, and whenever they get to you, their plan is to run smooth over you. And they do a great job up front. And not to mention the two running backs. I mean, it's like thunder and lightning. You know, you have one young man who wears number 5 who can fly. You know, and he's going to make you miss, and then he's going to turn upfield and tell you, you know, good luck on catching me. And then you have another young man who wears number 20, who's the thunder of the bunch, who's going to be more of a downhill runner. Not saying that he won't run outside of us and outrun us, but he's going to be more of a downhill runner who I mean, is a force of his own to deal with. Quarterback. You know, last year our mindset was that we were going to make him have to beat us running the ball or throwing the ball. He did it. So, you know, this year it's kind of one of those deals where we have to contain him. We have to make sure that he's going to complete balls, but we have to be around the ball whenever he does throw it, just to give ourselves an opportunity to contend it and see if we can't disrupt some of the pass patterns and the routes, because they do have not just 2, but you know they do have 2 receivers that I would call elite, but there are other guys that they get the ball to that are just as good. They are loaded offensively, and it's crazy because in the past I would have said that their defense was the high point of their team because they were a shutdown defense, and their offense was manageable. I mean, they moved the ball and they did what they needed to do to get points on the board, but to me, looking at their offense, and I don't know much about their defense, but looking at their offense, it's like, man, we're loading this side of the ball up and we're coming after people, and that's what they've been doing. They've been really getting after really good folks at that. So we have to come with our A game, you know, and like I said, play as flawless as possible, create turnovers. Again, we have to get off the field. We have to win third down, and then, you know, just see what happens.
Thanks for watching Channel 18 News. Have a great evening.
Certified for that, but that's not what I'm looking for, and I don't think you can have it.
So when it comes in the field, when it's taken out in the field, it has the seeds in it. Alright? Then the cotton goes through a process called ginning. And this is a miniature cotton gin. We're going to show you how it works. When cotton is ginned, the seeds are taken out. The seeds are used to put byproducts. They're also used for feed. Have you ever heard of cows eating cotton seed? Okay, it's used for cow feed also. Feel of
Cotton gin is pretty simple.
do I have to?
Cotton seed.
Keep passing it down faster, guys.